Hey, what's up, y'all? It's just me again checking in with you. I was actually thinking the other day, I get, a lot of interview requests from a lot of people all over this country and outside of the country as well. So I spend a lot of time, responding to emails, sometimes online, sometimes via Skype, over the phone. One thing I've noticed is that interviewers, everybody is unique and they come up, with some very interesting questions. So I thought about it and I said, these are some questions that a lot of people probably have about me and my music and, the journey that I've been on. So I just thought, I would kind of compile a list of maybe 10 or so questions that I've been asked that all of you might have asked in the past. So we'll just kind of go through and just share with you a little bit. I did an interview recently for someone in New Zealand. And it was very interesting. She asked me a lot of things, and she asked me, knowing I'm from or reside in Atlanta, she wanted to know, if I've ever run into the housewives and, all of that. So of course, I've seen them, I've run into them, I've been in the same crowds that they've been in. So Atlanta is a big city, but it's a it's a small city as well. It's enough that we bump into those people all the time. But just little interesting questions that I think are kind of unique.
I see you looking my way.
The most difficult part about the process of recording, I guess it's different for every artist. It depends on where you are in your process, in your journey. For me, I've been doing this for quite a while now. My first project came out in 2005, but I had actually recorded before then. My first official recording, I guess studio recording you would say, was in 1998. It was a single called There's Still Time. I guess the knowledge was the biggest thing. At this point in my career, I guess, I don't know. I think that the most difficult part for me would be, song selection, choosing the right material, writing the right things, just making sure that you're staying current with what's out there today, while at the same time not trying to compromise your sound or your style, but wanting to be heard and listened to, maintaining the integrity of your music, writing the music, coming up with melody and lyrics. The easy thing for me is to write a song and I can get a hook instantly. The most difficult part for me has always been to develop the second verse. So the second verse for me is always the most difficult part of every song that I've ever written. It's always been that way, and it doesn't get any easier, but a lot of times I think that the second verse to my songs turn out to be the best because I have to put a lot more work and energy and effort into it usually.
Got your emotions in it.
This is a tough one because really it could go either. I love the recording process. I love being in the studio. I think that gives an artist the opportunity to really try new things, to really attempt to take their voice to the next level, to find out the areas of strength, but also to hone those weaknesses. The studio gives you the unique ability to be able to do it over and over and over again, and that's a wonderful thing because that's vocal coaching, that's vocal practicing. In essence, when you spend the session in the studio, you're rehearsing, you're using your instrument, you're practicing, you're doing takes over and over and over. And then the other side of what we do is the performance. It's a wonderful thing. It gives you an opportunity to get out there and actually see the people who support you, see the people who are rallying for you, see the people who buy your music, and connect with all of those people that you interact with on the internet. Social media is a wonderful tool that brings us all together, but being out there actually gets us away from these instruments, the iPhones and the laptops and the iPads. It takes us, and we get an opportunity to meet, but most of all, we get an opportunity to really perform and deliver the song the way it was intended to be. Writers typically write, and when you're writing in your mind, you probably, if you're like me, you're on stage delivering it, so you're not in a studio with headphones on, just recording. In your mind, you're actually thinking about the delivery of the song. So I think both of them are great depending on what you're working on at the time. The studio, I always say though, is the work. I mean, that's the work to me. That's where you have to put in those hours and hours and hours, and sometimes all night long, to make the best recording that you can make, because the actual sound recording, that CD, is what is going to stick around for years and years and years, and a lifetime, even long after someone remembers your performance. They're going to always have your music, and so I call that the work of what we do.
Mr.